Are some of Kok's criticisms deliberate, as in for the sake of criticizing? Is he milking the system? After all, even negative publicity is still publicity. Is Kok being a dick? I find his criticisms more dismissive criticisms than constructive criticisms. And I can't agree that dismissive criticism is healthy. Are they populist criticisms or expert deconstructions? Populism narratives to gain followers is very prevalent in social media. Kok is also hypercritical, and this is much akin to the overcorrective tendencies of some of our vocal parts of the population. Hypercriticism, whether genuine or gimmickal, may do good because it makes the creators strive to give better products and may weed out mediocre products like healthy competition does. And we, the consumers, are the reapers of those rewards. But it also has an unhealthy side to it that, due to its mainstream popularity, it disparages experimentalists, experiments, general creativity, and creators due to fear of criticism, and may thus hurt deviant innovations and individualism. Hypercriticism may have associations with virtue signaling and skill signaling. Hypercriticism may also have associations with both the woke movement and the anti-woke reactionary movements. Fundamentalist reactionary movements are sweeping India, and Kok's majority following may well have reactionary elements. I can't in good conscience agree with Kok that actors like Saji, Sunny Wayne, Abarna, Aishwarya Lakshmi, Ramya, etc. lack versatility or potential. That is, if that is what he meant. The lines between subjectivism and objectivism is slightly blurred here. Ashwanth Kok is hailed as an expert authority in the field of reviewings by a part of the Mallu community, and while his intellectual competence and his captivating and entertaining abilities are not in question, his verisimilitude and integrity are matters of debate. I personally don't think harsh criticisms with harsh language is a necessity. His perspectives seem to be more next-door layman in nature, which is a part of why he is appealing. He has oodles of stoic and macho charisma. He has a cult following, as rebel influencers often do. And there is a dissonance between popularity and enjoyability and agreeability of hypercritical reviews. Persuasion of perceived authority and confirmation biases can come into play. Popularity of hypercritics is ambiguous. Most of you may agree with some of what they say, and some of you may agree with most of what they say, but most of you may not agree with most of what they say, never mind all of you agreeing with all of what they are saying. Not sure if professional reviewers take agitator influencers seriously. Mimicrying, making derivative contents, and criticisms are all kosher. But the line between critiquing and defamation is a very fine line in my opinion, and we should look into it if that blurrage is being exploited by reviewers. I highly doubt paid review extolling and paid or unpaid review bombing are non-existent in Kerala. And getting paid means there's potential conflict of interest. Giving fake reviews online, positive and negative, are ubiquitous, and in Kerala it's no different. And I can't agree with Mammookka, whom I admire greatly, or Ashwanth Kok, or Secret Agent, or Chegutan, that reviews are completely uninterfering on the public opinion of movies. Maybe it's a very minute influence. Maybe it doesn't affect the box office collection that much. But reviews and word of mouth does have an effect, however small it is. Or maybe there's persuasion of perceived authority, especially if our opinions haven't solidified yet. Honestly, it depends on the scope of the reviewers, the unanimity of the reviewers, the popularity and the credibility of the reviewers. I know the audience can think for themselves, and nobody can really smear an objectively good movie. But the influence is minute and may be gradual, like a pocket of influence on your mind, and may subliminally condition you or change your perception of how you personally review things, like ignoring the flaws of a movie or nitpicking more flaws of a movie. It is imperceptible, subliminal conditioning, and subconscious influencing. It's subtle. Okay. Suppose somebody's suggestive influence on you, even if you are very receptive of that person, is negligible. Suppose that. But that's beside the point. There's still the question of integrity on that reviewer's part. We cannot just assume that there are no paid or unpaid review extolling and paid or unpaid review bombing in Mollywood cinema. Whether it influences anybody or not, it is one's duty to be sincere and honest to the movie makers, to the profession of critiquing, and to your audiences. It's a matter of integrity that you do your profession truthfully. Even if a review or a fake review doesn't affect the box office collections of a movie or the reputation of the makers or your opinion of that movie, there still exists the duty of a reviewer to be truthful to the society and not misuse your freedom of expression and speech. Okay, but then the obvious problem here arises. Unless you do a polygraph test, and even then, you can really verifiably find out if a reviewer is being truthful or not about his external opinion of a movie. Nobody can read another person's mind. We are taking their word for it. So, the ability to find out if a person is giving a fake review or if they are expressing a genuine judgment is very limited. The movie creators lobby may be in some part altruistically promoting objective reviews, but they may also be diametrically opposing all negative reviews. I think they are within their rights to oppose review bombing, but proving the charges of review bombing is very difficult because we don't know if a person is being truthful or not from his reviews. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Sajinanthiyattu, who claims to represent Mollywood Tinseltown. He is equally controversial as Kok, if not more. He has made controversial statements in the past and has a somewhat notorious reputation. His arguments against Kok's rhetorics are not always warranted and often swears away from the genuine concerns of the movie lobbies. This is a complex problem that requires an unbiased scalpel approach to sunder the blacks and the whites from the greys, and it is not sure whether Mr. Saji is up to the task. I don't know if review contents or review bombings or roastings are as uninterfering as, say, a mammookka says, but they are right to say good movies with enough publicity and good marketing will profit nonetheless. Because that's the thing, enough publicity and good marketing. Individual reviewers are not so ubiquitous that they permeate every walks of media and people's notice and interest. Quality content of the movie, publicity, marketing, and word of mouth are bigger factors. The younger generations are wise for their years, supposedly. They are woke and vigilant. Mammookka is wise due to his years, though I can't completely agree with him on this issue. People on the reviews need to be curated faction must realize that this is Kerala, a state that has been long a proponent of freedom of speech. You can't nurture one form of media by sacrificing another form of media. Also, everyone should keep in mind that no matter how woke and progressive and tolerant Mollywood appears to be, it is still a lobby and a lobby working for profits and itself. In the wake of the subsiding of the voices that are fighting for freedom of speech in India, it is bizarre in a way when Kerala, a supposed free speech champion, proposed a review-free first 7 days motion. In the wake of the rising violations of freedom of speech expression rights in India, like attacks and murders of journalists and penalizing media outlets, and also the misuse of freedom of speech expression rights like hagiographies, propaganda medias, political puffery and fluff pieces, and misleading statistics on the other side, more censorship legislations will be counterproductive. Thank you for watching.